Mildred had just seen a vision when her comrades, Rosie and Meg and Connor had opened Clyde's office. We will get back to that, but at this moment, there is a man laboring away on a train in the cold summer night with a set of stomping footsteps coming up behind him.
Okay, so it's dark outside, right? Night
The
has
sun
fallen.
has gone down, yes.
Okay. And Ernest is just toiling away at the locomotive.
He's got a lamp lit. He's working away at this piston, quilt over his shoulders. You don't see Louise around.
Okay, cool. Well, so there will be footsteps that approach behind Ernest, okay? And then the voice of a small orphan, not Felix's voice. And it says, "Good evening, sir."
He ignores you.
Sir, it's rather cold out here, isn't it?
Ernest kind of and resumes his work. What are you trying? What's your goal here?
So, there.
What is the reason for this?
Ernest feels whoever has walked up behind him now approaches closer and stands at his elbow and is just watching him work, and he can hear their breathing.
Orphan breathing, of course.
Yeah, orphan breathing.
Okay.
And then the voice breaks in again with a question. So, what does that do? And a hand and fingerless gloves comes into his peripheral vision.
Okay. Prop work.
Pointing at a lump of metal on the inside of this, in the guts of this locomotive.
Ernest goes, well, that's one of the... I don't know anything about trains. Well, no, he doesn't say that. That was from Janie's heart. That was from my heart. That's the gears. They turn to make the wheels go. I'm sure that's something.
That's a good explanation for an orphan child.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's breaking down his knowledge for the orphan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this moment, we are all orphans, baby.
So
Ooh, there ain't no other way.
There's like a little bit of silence as the orphan is like digesting this information.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, usually, your father will teach you about these sorts of things, but I never had a dad.
Well, I didn't have no kids either. Seemed really irritating.
Amen.
Yeah, what a choice.
Oh. So how long does it take to repair one of these things?
Goes a lot faster when I've not got anybody bothering me.
Have you been working on trains a long time?
And finally, he turns around to face and goes,
So he sees not Felix, but
A little
Victorian orphan. And I got
Okay, so how are you
got
gonna
a
roll
roll
that?
for disguise.
yeah.
So this
He's
is
like on your
Felix
knees with
in one of his like
In like a Lord
audience
Farquaad
planned
costume.
costumes. Okay. This is one of his classic looks. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, the orphans
orphans.
famously in the audience at the circus.
Definitely. There's always a street urchin there that is willing to volunteer for anything.
Sorry, the Lord Farquaad reference
Well, you know how
in spooky broken down train Call of Cthulhu just caught me off guard there.
you know how they like get on their knees and put the shoes on their knees to be short.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so I roll for disguise, and I do pass.
Okay. So he sees a little orphan boy and he goes, oh.
Yeah, that's great. So the little orphan boy has like, ash smeared on his face, like coal dust on his little arms. And he looks simultaneously really old and really young. You can't really tell how old he is. Okay.
Okay.
The orphan boy is like, so are you faking all this? Okay.
And he just looks at you a little bewildered and goes, So, are your parents here with you?
I'm an orphan.
Now, I don't mean to be rude. My great-grandpa was a Londoner, and I want to know why a young man grew up long enough across the pond to develop an accent, and then move here, all alone.
I followed the rats. That's how I ended up here. I followed the rats. They take me where I need to be.
Well, why don't you go and follow your rats somewhere else?
Someone told me that you've actually just been faking repairing the train the whole time and that you can't actually fix trains. Is that true, mister?
Ernest leans back and he goes, Louise! Got a little one!
Oh, no.
And he goes,
You're going to send me away, sir.
Consider yourself at home.
Now, look, little fella, I'm not your pa, but I need you to get on. I got a train to fix.
But can you even fix it, sir? You've been trying for 6 whole days and you haven't done it. Sounds like you
How many
can't
trains
do
have
it.
you fixed?
I haven't fixed any trains, sir. I'm just an orphan. No one's asked me to before. But I've never told anyone I could fix a train. And then failed to do it.
I've fixed dozens of trains. I love trains more than anyone loves trains. I know trains like nobody knows trains. Louise!
But, sir, what about this then? And he points to a broken part of the train. Did you break that?
He gives you kind of a grim look and goes, look, I've got somebody waiting on me to fix this train. I gotta get back to work. It's mighty late for a young man like yourself. Now you need to get on back to your cabin and let me get back to my work.
I don't have a cabin, sir. I just sleep in the coal car with the rest of them.
Arguably a step up from under the horse.
And he turns his back to you and he
orphans,
resumes working on the train.
Okay, and then there's a moment of silence where there's more breathing.
Orphan breathing, you were gonna say?
And then there's just full of innocence. The voice is full of innocence.
Oh, could you roll for full of innocence? What do you want that to be?
We like to go.
Charm?
How innocent could Felix really be? Probably I'd give him like a 10%. He probably couldn't sound innocent very well. He's probably sounding like, yeah, no. This sounds like an orphan that's trying to be innocent but can't really be innocent but knows that an innocent orphan.
One of those classic scammer orphans.
Exactly, yeah.
Last paper.
Exactly. He's like, well, sir, everyone's told me that you're a fraud, but I believe in you, sir. All I ask, though, just my little prayer, is that you will prove to everyone that you can fix trains and that you will fix this train within an hour. Because if you don't, then, well, sir, I might just lose my faith in humanity altogether. So, let that thought be with you this night, and may it guide you, sir. Do you have a penny, sir?
God bless us, everyone!
Is that what Ernest is saying to this orphan?
You hear coming from behind you. Louise comes humming up behind. She goes, "Oh, I didn't know there were
Ma'am. I'm an orphan here. I sleep in the coal car with the rest of them.
the rest of the orphans."
The rest of them, ma'am. But I'm on my way now. Your husband doesn't want anything to do with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
honey.
He says us orphans all gotta die.
on. Oh, why don't you come on over here? And she's gonna give you a hug. And how little of an orphan boy are we talking? Are we talking 5, 6, 10, 14?
Probably about 8.
Then she's gonna pick you up.
Okay.
And would you like to resist that happening? Because she's going to realize you're quite heavy for an 8-year-old orphan.
He will not resist.
She picks you up and she goes, "Oh, mighty heavy little one, aren't you?
I'm a dense orphan.
I want you to roll another disguise check."
My mother
She just unfolded his way in the
Yeah.
quad costume.
But this
His
is gonna
shoes are,
be
like, on the
this is
ground.
gonna be hard. So you have to get below half of your score.
Okay, cool. I failed that.
And she goes, "Wait, it's the horse sleeping boy."
And then at
You
this
ain't no
point,
orphan.
Felix says, "I've gotta go," in his orphan voice. Just gotta be somewhere. And he like takes off into the night as his orphan self.
And sing.
And that's a wrap on Coco.
And that's it, everybody. Have a good night.
It was gonna be spooky, but
But he's gonna cut back
Are
to
you
the
on your
office.
knees to be short?
It's his own special brand of
It's
audience work
proprietary.
magic. Yeah.
Got it.
It's pretty cool. He doesn't want to give away his secrets. A magician never does that.
Okay, so you scurry away.
But
And
he's scurrying away into the night, and he's heading in kind of a loop around back to the office car.
you hear as you scurry away, Louise lean over to Ernest and be like, "Darling, we gotta get out of here. These people are, and you know what? The Lord tells us to be kind, but these are some strange people." And Ernest just goes, and resumes working on the train. Next, we're going to cut to our friend Mildred. You had your vision that you had at the end of last episode. And when you come to, you are curled up. You're on the balls of your feet, dropped down into a squat, holding your legs, burying your head in between them. And you have this vision, but then you take a deep breath and you are restored to your own body. But I would like you to maybe roll a d6 of sanity.
Ooh. 5.
5.
So I take 5 from my sanity?
Yep, you lose 5. So you don't experience temporary insanity, but you do feel off. And I'm going to say, as a consequence of taking that much insanity, you're going to have to roll another sanity check if you want to enter the office.
Okay.
So, you come to, head between your legs. You're outside. Clyde is just around the corner, chuckling to himself a little bit, having watched Felix's classic Little Orphan fast one. What do you do?
I think Mildred, she takes a moment. She gives this big and then just like sits there and then processes what she saw and then slowly kind of like unfolds and reaches for her crystal ball and just like grips it in her hands. That feeling of like wanting to chew on her nails coming back to her. So she just kind of like folds her hands back and forth for something to do. And then she looks up, and as she hears Clyde chuckle, a feeling of connection, like
My
having,
son.
yeah, having this moment, seeing what his father had seen, and then knowing that there's something that Clyde knows, at least subconsciously, that he hasn't been telling everyone. And she is going to approach him.
Okay. Oh, Mildred, good to see you.
She like reaches out for like his cheek almost to like pat it, And then she, like, withdraws her hand.
Are you all right? You look a little ghastly. Are you not feeling too well? I know the heat's been getting all of us.
The beyond, my dear Clyde, takes it out of all of us. Now, there is something I feel that you are not telling us, and I know it must come out.
I would like you to roll psychology.
Okay.
To see if you can potentially get a read on him to know what to say.
Yeah, so my psychology is 60 and I got a 23.
So, you see Clyde is reactive to this, like, compassion you show him. Right, that you approached him and reached out for him with some kind of softness. And he looks at you and he kind of glances around and nobody else is around and slumps back into his chair. Well, you know, I inherited this business from my father, and he was quite the businessman. And, he had a very successful business, and, you know, he was well connected. And so he left me a lot of notes when he passed on about how I can continue to run his business and, you know, the right color of tent to get and, you know, how much you can stiff your performers, things like that. You know, important notes. But there was one thing that as I was taking over in his old age, he asked me not to read until he was gone. And it was his journal from must be 40 years ago now. And in the front there was tucked a page with instructions telling me to never stay in one place for 7 days. And to be wary of strangers. And as I read through his journal, he would write about all of these experiences where he would be in meetings with other circus owners or performers. And there was this man who owned another circus, but they got on quite well. And he was the one who told him, and as I was reading, I couldn't bear to read it anymore. Disturbed me, sickened me. This was years ago. I took over some 20 years ago now. And I've not really looked since, but he was quite serious about this 7-day rule. But that's all I can say, really. I've not gone back to reread it.
Do you still have it?
Somewhere in my office, but I'd rather you not read it either. It'd be bad for your humors.
My dear Clyde, my humors are quite strong. The things I've seen, these humors won't go anywhere, I promise you that.
Well, I just don't want anyone to see it. It's better we just leave in the morning. That'd be best for all of us.
Are you concerned about this fellow who is fixing our train?
Well, it'd be better if the railroad company could have sent a few men. One man doing all this work is a large ask. But he said he'd work through the night. I told him I'd keep the coffee hot for him, so hopefully first thing in the morning we will be gone from this place.
Are you going to watch over him all night long?
Me? Oh, heavens no. I was thinking, Connor and Felix could take shifts with me. You know they just love me. They'll do anything I ask.
Bourbon for you. Here. And Felix pops up into the conversation, and he's got the bottle of bourbon that he proffers to Clyde.
Oh, Felix, thank you.
Yeah, it's no trouble. It's no trouble. Now, you're watching Ernest work all night, aren't you?
Well, I was hoping. You know, it's just about midnight now. Just after. I was thinking maybe you could take over for me about 1 or 2.
Watching Ernest? Sure, I think I could do that.
And if you see Connor, tell him to watch from 6 onwards.
Certainly. I'll go look for him now. Mildred, would you care to accompany me?
Certainly, I would not want you to get lost, as you sometimes do.
It's a big train. But,
Felix, next time, a little closer to the top on the bourbon.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mildred pulls from the drape of her shawl another bottle of bourbon, and she pulls the lid off and just fills up his cup, and then returns it.
Maybe you really can see the future. Cheers. And he sits back in his chair, watching Ernest. You know how people drink alcohol?
Yummy!
Before we're off, before we just pop off here, would you care for a cigarette? I've got the ones you like.
Do I care for a cigarette?
Yeah. And he hands him 2 cigarettes.
And he lights them both. It's been a stressful day.
Yeah. But keep an eye on that Ernest fellow. He's a bit weird.
And he goes, oh, Felix, I know all about weird.
Right. So shall we be off the Miss Doyle?
Yeah, just as they're having that conversation, Mildred looks to where Louise and Ernest are, and I'd like to make an occult check just to see if there is anything that she can kind of vibe from it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Her occult is 70, and I got a 54.
Very nice. I'll put it to you this way. Sometimes when you get a good look at someone, you kind of get an aura about them. And people who are more closely connected to the occult, like yourself, have a stronger, brighter aura. People like Meg, who handle the dead, tend to have an aura. Rosie's off the charts with Dollina. Whereas some of the other members of the circus who aren't as connected to the occult have less. But the more they work for the circus, the more aura they get. Ernest has what you would describe as the average amount of this kind of supernatural occultitude. The same things that cause people to see, you know, ghosts in lighthouses or things like that. Whereas Louise has none. Dead zero. You see her singing away her happy little song, but you can tell that she has shut herself off from it. That she is not willing to see or accept any of that, really.
Okay.
Miss Doyle, are we going?
Yes, my dear, I am ready.
Right, let's get on then.
Okay. So you convene in the office. Is that so?
I stop at the door, unless you wanted to go someplace else. Were you leading us to the office?
Yeah, we're gonna head to the office.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we get to the office. I stop at the door.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're headed to the office.
We're gonna go back in time
Great.
to when the door first opened. And you 3 entered. And once again, you saw kind of standard study, a bookcase full of ledgers, a desk kind of covered in paper. It's a little bit of a hot mess. There's also kind of a stack of photos of, you know, like newspaper clippings and, you know, like performer photos, things like that. Things that, you know, drafts of new posters for new cities. And the place is just kind of in disarray, which, knowing Clyde as well as you do, doesn't seem totally out of character.
Rosie, she knows what she's looking for. She only cares about the binoculars.
Roll for binocular. Roll for spot hidden.
Spot hidden. But there are 2 sets of eyes here. And one eye may be looking for something that's not binocular.
Okay. Then I want you to roll spot hidden for your eyes looking for binoculars, and I want you to roll occult for if Dollina gets a sense of anything.
Okay, for spot
Anything you guys want to do?
I think Meg is looking for anything with like an interesting photo on it. Because she can't read.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Connor?
Can I roll, like, library use or accounting?
Library use. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead. Very helpful.
While Connor's digging through, he'll just say, hey, while I got the 2 of you, I just had this weird memory come to me. Rosie, Meg, have either of you been working and having Orphan come up and start really questioning your ability to do your job? 'Cause that happened to me earlier this week, and I don't know what to think of it.
You know, I never had an orphan, but the other day this old sailor man had tobacco in his mouth, and he came up and he started asking me all these questions about my animals, and then he went to sleep under the horse.
In Felix's spot,
I know, it's just very rude.
did he know?
Not an orphan, but the sad little girl who came up and talked to me about Dollina. She told me she wasn't real. She was very rude. Kind of like Felix. So rude.
Did you find those binoculars yet?
How's your spot hidden?
Success.
Okay, you do find not binoculars. He's a man of class. He has opera glasses, though.
Oh, good, we can go.
Yay!
Yeah, you're done.
Okay, and then
That's it, everybody. I'm just kidding.
a colt for the other one?
What'd you get on library use?
Bad. But can I push it? Looking at more and more and realizing that it's janky, I think Connor would be a little bit less careful about how he's rooting through things.
You can push that roll. If you fail, I will be withholding an important piece of information.
I know that the help action doesn't necessarily do as much as it does, but I do think that Meg's like, oh, I'm looking for something like interesting, looking for something weird, is a form of library use, even if it's not like as perhaps focused.
I don't have any skill in library use for context here, so.
I have a very light skill.
Hey!
There you go. Okay, you can push that if you'd like. You can think about it.
Is to push a reroll?
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, to push is a reroll, so you can try again to succeed. Oh, so don't move her head when I'm talking. Oh, is a reroll, but failure has more dire consequences.
Can I push to reroll?
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell you what the consequence would be. Oh, are you going to push your roll?
I think seeing the intensity here, Connor's gonna kick into adult mode a little bit and be like, let's be careful.
Careful.
A little bit.
Okay.
No.
And this was your occult roll? Would you like to make a sanity check for me?
Okay. What am I rolling? Just a d10?
Roll a d6.
A d6. Pause.
So the sanity check is against your sanity score, and then if you
roll
fail,
a sanity,
then it's the d6.
roll a sanity check. So that's gonna be a d100s, and then
Okay.
we'll see if you take
And
emotional damage.
Okay.
But for Felix, you find some other things. You find another notebook, which is also Cletus's.